Hello and welcome to Chasing the Finish podcast, episode 37. I am your host, Mike Duffy, and as always, I'm joined by Ben Blakeman and Jake Ramsey, and we're here to dissect the 24-hour treadmill run, as if it wasn't enough seeing us on screen for 24 hours and having to be in our company for that long. We are going to now sit and talk about it, because even though you saw a lot of live reactions, etc., we didn't actually talk about how we felt like properly. Some bits that we remember, some bits that we'd rather forget, and everything in between as well. So, yeah, really looking forward to this episode. And as you can tell, I'm a bit beaten up still. I woke up yesterday full of cold. So, yeah, bit in the wars. But, yeah, hopefully that can shift itself soon. Let's come to you first, Ben. Without going into it straight away, how are things with yourself? Would you say you're recovered? Are you feeling more human now?
Yeah, I think it's just that what is it? Exhaustion. I can't even say the word. Exhaustion. Exhaustion. Yeah. I can't even say it. Yeah, I think obviously you saying there, like, you know, you like this cold or whatever it is that's come through now. I think I don't know about Jake, but me and you were kind of fighting off like potential illnesses like the day before or whatever. I got a bad belly and stuff. You were dealing with this potential cold. Luckily, they managed to hold out just in time. But yeah, it's been nice, just kind of obviously booking a couple of days off work we've all done. So it's nice to have that little bit of a just decompress, take it all in, realise what we've done, and yeah, just enjoy getting back ready to go again, I suppose. How about yourself?
Yeah, well, like you say, we've booked a couple of days off work. We all booked the Monday and Tuesday off. So we're actually recording this. The time currently is 21 minutes past 10 in the morning on Tuesday, the 24th of March. So it's nice to be able to sort of do this during the day, and then we've still got the rest of the day to do what we need to do. So, which for me at the moment, because we're away all weekend, is lots and lots of washing to be done. So, yeah, fun times, eh? But yeah, I'll get there, as you say, you know, giving yourself the week to recover, because potentially, well, we'll talk about this probably a little bit later on, but potentially back at it again on Sunday. So no rest for the wicked. Jake, how's things with yourself? Do you feel a bit more human now, or?
Yeah, I feel sound now, to be fair. I was a bit stiff yesterday. Yeah. I got into. I was trying to hold out as long as possible, because I said to the missus, like, if I go upstairs now and just lie in the bed, I will be in trouble, because I'll just drop off.
What time did you get in from the villa?
No, Sunday, sorry, this was Sunday. I got back for the second half of the final, like the FA Cup, League Cup final. The villa itself, like, we always stand up. Luckily, the people in front of me sat down. I was like, you know what? I think I got to like 25 minutes in, and I was like, oh, I'm sitting down now. I was aching. The stairs, walking to the ground, so my old man was getting a proper power walk on. I was like, I was in trouble. I was like, I can't walk this quick. I was struggling up the 2 lots of stairs. I was just like, but now it was worth it. We won, so that's a bonus.
Well, I was keeping an eye on the score, and I saw you were 1-0 up, but they scored quite early on, and I thought, I bet he's missed that goal. And I thought, imagine it finishes 1-0 and you've put yourself through the ringer. You get there and you miss the only goal of the match, but thankfully you scored another goal. So you got to see a win and you got to see a goal. But I was saying on the stream, I would not have been able to, like, even if it was like a game that we needed to win to get into the playoffs, I think I would have just been happy to surrender that one and watch from home. But I think we're all maybe in that position on Sunday, is how it's holding out, isn't it, till later on in the evening, because we dropped you back, Ben, and I think it was the most silent car journey. I don't know what Beck must have been thinking, but it was the most silent car journey from Birmingham to Solihull that I've ever been on. And it was just sort of a gathering of thoughts, lots of pain and general tiredness, because our bodies went through the ringer. Because if you think about it, and I've said this to a lot of people who have asked how we got on, one thing which I don't think we planned very well, but we, as a collective, we're not used to doing these sorts of endurance runs, is the eating. So not only are our bodies tired and recovering and going through what they've been through, we barely ate anything. And I think it really paid its price, didn't it, Ben, as we got further in?
Yeah, I think, I see. I've experienced it before. You get to that point where you almost struggle to take stuff in.
Yeah.
I think that's where the issue is. Like me and you were having you bought some porridge pots along, hadn't you? So, and my God, it was a struggle to get them down. But yeah, as you say, these are the things you have to sort of adapt to it while you're in it. Rather than you can only plan so much. You can bring as much food and stuff as you want, but if your body's not going to take it, you need to kind of adapt and find something that you can take in. I've gone back to, I've said before when I've done these ultras, that there's been times where I can't get any food down. I could only get Coke and water down. That's the only two things. But to be fair, I think obviously having that then 4 hours between, you almost started to feel a little bit normal towards the end, just in time for you to get back on and go again, which wasn't the best. But yeah, no, I think I think we did incredibly well, and yeah, can't wait for the next one.
Well, Jake, you're shaking your head there. How did you find, obviously, the way that we did it? Those that watch will know, but we did 2 hour stints each. So that meant one person had 4 hour break. Would you a fan of that? Or would you have, maybe if we did it again, would you rather sort of get back on and do another stint as like sooner than 4 hours? Was you not a fan of waiting around, or?
I think it was probably the best way, but I think within my logic was like, in a sense, like, right, I'm coming off. That 2 hours between when Ben's on is when I'll go relax, and like you'll be with him, and then when you go on, me and Ben will swap, and that's how I thought it was. But I don't think it ever went like that. Like this, because obviously you decided you're taking over the bed, so. I went and lied on top of the bed cover, and I put my phone on, and within like 5 minutes I was gone for about an hour. I don't think I had much. We probably had about the same, didn't we, Ben? Probably maybe a couple of hours, if that.
Well, I was just paranoid about actually falling asleep, so I was kind of, I was laid down on top of the bed. I had set an alarm, but I don't know, I just couldn't. I was really paranoid about falling into a deep sleep, and then, like, I don't know, because I'm worried about you two as well on there. The way Mike was prattling about, anything could have happened. Do you know what I mean?
You should have saw when he tried to move machines. I walked out the room.
I don't know what he was doing at times, because obviously I could hear him from a distance. Couldn't hear the treadmill, could hear him. But yeah, some of the things I'm just like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get any proper sleep here at all. So yeah, I'd say probably. I probably got about an hour and a half.
I think there was a time when I think Jake was on the treadmill, and I didn't, because the way it worked as well. I'm so glad we asked for 2 treadmills in the end, because the treadmills only lasted for an hour, and then they went into a 5-minute cool down period. So we always had to have someone there to man the second treadmill so that they could time it. And it literally was this every time. You had to almost time it bang on when the other treadmill would stop to then jump over onto the other treadmill. So I don't know. We sort of just left Jake to it. So he must have been on his last hour, because there's no way we'd have left him needing to change the treadmill himself. And you were on top of the bed. And I think I'd just got, that would have been it. I would have just got off. Jake would have just gone on, meaning that you then would have had to have woken up soon to start prepping and then to help Jake move treadmills. And you were on top of the bed, Ben, and I just got into the bed next to you. And I thought, he's got to wait, because if I start snoring and I proper fall asleep, he's done here.
Well, I lasted
that period
maybe.
When I was on my own was hard, man.
Well, I was only in there for like 10 or 15 minutes, Mark, after you got in, and then I was like, I've got to go and make sure Jake's all right, because I thought there's no way.
To be fair, like, I was kind of lucky. My cousin came on and was on there, and I was talking, but he was like, I'm going off now. And then I think it was like 5 minutes later, Ben came in off. You get to a stage where you're trying to interact with people because there's people viewing it, but I fully feel like people were viewing it, put it on and fell asleep. So you're there just having a full-blown conversation with yourself. Because you came in like, who you talking to? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just talking to myself. Just the stream, and no one responding back.
One thing I'll ask you both is, and Ben, we'll start with you. At what point, and you might not have felt this, but at what point did you realise that this was actually going to be difficult?
I don't know really. I said to Jake, the run I struggled on the most was actually the second one. I don't know why. The first one was fun, was just sort of flying. Everyone, the excitement, adrenaline was there. We're all there chatting, people in the stream. The second one, I think I was talking to you, sat in the chair, Mike, and I was chatting to you, and I'd ran the first hour, and I said, right, I've got to walk this second hour now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know how that was the only like hour that I walked, but yeah, I don't know. At that point, I was like, okay, we've got to be a bit more strategic here, because I think it was also the fact that Jake had come off, and Jake was in quite a lot of pain with his knee as well. So it was like I was starting to get a bit worried, because I don't know how you two are going to handle these situations. Do you know what I mean? Like, know, and we don't want to be in such. You could get injured at any point. So it wasn't a case of like, oh, this is going to be difficult for myself. It was more like, how are we going to play if something goes wrong? It was trying to think of them situations where it could go wrong. So yeah, it was definitely, I think the only other point was when I was on, was it 4 till 6? And I said to Jake, Jake obviously fell asleep behind me. And I knew I was going to be on my own for a while. So luckily, he got my headphones for me, and I had to put something on. There's no way I could have just looked at nothing and just, stare at the treadmill for 2 hours, because you realise it's a long time. And then 4 hours that you're off fly by, I think. I mean, by the time you got yourself sorted, I jumped in an ice bath, jumped in a shower. There's like 45 minutes to an hour gone already. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, trying to deal with that then. And you just feel like you can't get into a proper sleep. And then you've almost got to be there for the next person. And like almost an hour before, yeah, it just felt like time was flying and you was on to your next go. So that was the most difficult bit of that.
What about yourself, Jake?
What was the question, sorry?
At what point did you realise it was actually going to be quite difficult?
Within the first half an hour.
Was it when Mike turned off the treadmill?
Yeah, I was like, he's ruined my whole feng shui.
I thought that as well. I thought, here we go. This is going to be difficult dealing with Mike for 24 hours. That was what I was thinking.
In a mindset where, and I think Mike done, because we was on about it before, he done the exact same. I started off like such in a positive manner, like running more, doing at like higher pace, and then the second run, my knee was just shot. So I was like, I'm gonna have to walk most of this because I'm in that much pain. And I'd say that was the worst run compared to the what did I do? Is it 2 till 4?
Yeah.
The only reason I don't know how that was sound is because there's still people so active in the chat.
It was crazy.
Yeah, like there was Dean from Centurion?
Yeah.
Alex was on. Brad was still on. Brad Rainey, Alex Thomas. And it was just pressuring Ben. He's a bit of a soft touch, and I was like, essentially, he's going to have to do it. They were pushing donations left, right, and centre. But yeah, it's the ones where you're just staring into space. Because I kept trying to put my headphones on, but I'd watch something, and I didn't want to ignore people. Like when Ben was sat there asking me questions, so I was like kind of watching him, and then I ended up just turning off because my head was that sweaty.
But wow, yeah, that was the other thing, weren't it? It was ridiculously hot. Like as soon as you're up there on that machine, and the heat from the machine, and obviously bodies in the room, and yeah, it was just ridiculous. You come over to me, Mark, and I was just literally dripping within the first 10 minutes. And I said, this is the only problem I got at the minute is just I'm just losing so much salt from my body, and I can't get enough water in to kind of replace it and stuff. So
there was a stage where I think it was like the last 2 brain cells coming together when you must have been asleep, Ben, and it was just me and Mike. And just everything was the stuff that was being said was just it was just like you got spaghetti letters and just picked up a load and just said it all. It was just an absolute mess.
Yeah, it was. I think, like you said though, Jake, that start, I think that's what lured me into a false sense of security, because I started, and as always, it's the runners are so bad for this. And Ben, you've said it on your videos. Every runner has said it, all the time. You always go into it thinking, right, don't start too fast, especially with a 24-hour run. Pace yourself. To be honest, though, I didn't really have much of a strategy. I knew I would have to walk a lot of it, but I think I took myself massively by surprise at how well I started. I think I was running non-stop for almost 15 minutes. And obviously, with it being a treadmill, completely pan flat. And I just thought, bloody hell, I'm doing a lot better than I thought here. So that first hour flew. And then the second hour, I was running 5 minutes, walking 5 minutes, running 5, etc., etc. And I thought, you know what? I've really, really surprised myself these first 2 hours. Well, let me tell you, when I got off that treadmill, the chafe, oh my God. I got in the shower and I could have screamed like a schoolgirl. I was absolutely in bother. I was so sore in places I didn't know I could be sore in. And I should have really, that strategy of 5 on, 5 off, 5 on, 5 off, that should have been my strategy for the rest of my runs. I should have maybe done that to start with, and then I would have been able to run a bit more. And I think I said on maybe my personal Instagram or wherever it was I said it, that if I was going to nitpick, that would be the one thing that I would be a little bit disappointed at myself and a little bit critical of myself, was how much I walked of it. Because if I'd have just had that little bit more planning in place, I could have very easily ran a lot more in that. But the pain I was in then, I think it was when I started my second run. And it's when it gets later, because you lose that energy. As you say, the amount we were sweating out. Jake brought some electrolytes for the water, which was an absolute godsend. And I was drinking more than I've ever drank in my entire life. Like water, Lucozade, water, making sure electrolytes, taking the protein rebel gels. And I wasn't able to go to the toilet. And it was like, how dehydrated am I? And like, considering how much you're drinking. So I think it was probably that second stint, even though it was still a reasonable time, I thought, yeah, could be in a bit of bother here. This is when it's going to start getting a bit long. So yeah, that was difficult. I want to ask Jake. I'll ask. Me and you will talk about this probably a little bit more than Ben, or unless Ben's going to tell me differently. Did you ever think about like quitting? Like thinking, because we had a conversation, didn't we? A lot of people sort of assumed, and rightly so, I'm not annoyed at them for assuming that Ben might pick up a lot of the hours because me and you might struggle. And I think maybe to a certain extent, we might have felt that ourselves. But at the same time, we almost wanted to make sure that that didn't happen so we could prove others wrong and be proud of us doing 8 hours and not having to lean on Ben. But was there ever a time in that where you thought, I don't know, I might have to tap out here?
I think it was always around, because obviously we started 20 minutes late, and you get to like, I think it was like, so what was I doing? 2 till 4?
No, you. Oh, sorry, yeah, you did 20 past 4, yeah.
So when it got to 3:50 and I still had half an hour left,
yeah,
and I'm like, I'm walking and I'm my feet are like absolutely killing me, and my legs are sore, my knees shot, and it's like you're getting no interaction apart from like trying to have a conversation with each other, because obviously at that time, obviously everyone was asleep, which is expected. And you're looking out the same window and the same stuff's happening. It's like, I just can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah.
But then you're like, I've got like 20 minutes left. That last 20 minutes seemed to last an hour. But I always found the first hour flew.
Yes.
And then the second hour just seemed like it took forever. But I think there was always going to be a time where I'm like, I just can't be bothered now. Like I'm just fed up. And I think what didn't help that we hit the target so quick, and you're like, now we got another like 18 hours to do, and we've already smashed the target. I'm like, just.
Yeah, we hit the target of what we needed to raise 6 hours in, which is brilliant. Don't get me wrong, to hit the target so early on, but then I don't know if this sounds selfish or sounds entitled or whatever, but you almost want it to sort of drag on a little bit longer so that you're pushing through and you're just thinking in your head, right, through these tough moments and through the graveyard shift and everything, I'm doing this because we will get to that target. So like you said, to hit the target 6 hours, so that would have meant it would have been when I was running, because I would have been in that 6th hour. But I think for me, like, just to piggyback off what you've just said, because we were walking as well, I think you picked up on this, Ben. When you're walking, it goes a lot slower. And I think the moment for me when I started to worry about if my head was going to be in it or not was when I was having to break down the minutes. So obviously, I personally think it helped breaking up the hour by moving treadmill, because you can almost attack it. I didn't mind breaking down half an hour. Like I often said on my runs, halfway through treadmill 1, and that's fine. But it was when in my head I started thinking, right, I think there was a stage I was breaking it down into 10-minute segments, and I'm like, you can't be doing that. And then I'm changing the setting on the treadmill to show it counting down the hour as opposed to counting up to the hour. And that's those last few moments. It always is the case. You're so close to the end, but genuinely, that last 20 minutes, if the stream would have cut out for whatever reason, or the hotel would have come in and says, "Look, you need to think about packing up," I'd have found any excuse to be like, "Do you know what? Let's just call it. We've hit the target and everything." But yeah, I'm glad that we persevered. I'll ask you, Ben. Was there a time that you thought about quitting? I know obviously you struggled a bit with your ankle, but you're a lot more suited to these longer distance running than me and Jake. So I presume, yes, you would have had your struggles, but you probably would have found a way through either way.
Yeah, I think it was more the fact that I'd kind of like set that kind of challenge to myself. I was trying to, get as far as I could. I think obviously I got to the point, especially it helped on my last leg where I was trying to get to 80k, and I realised that, like you were saying to me, "Oh, you'll get there," and I was like, "Well, it's just trying to working out my paces." Obviously, I needed to speed it up, so I was like hitting quite a quick pace towards the end, which is good as well, because it's nice to see that I've been through all that, and yet I could still almost be close to a sprint. Have that little bit of energy left. So I think that helped me through it, especially that 4 to 6 as well. Obviously when I say like it was just me and Jake was asleep behind me, I just got my headphones on. I was just getting my head down and trying to like just blast out as many kilometers as I could, so that I'd give myself sort of a buffer so I could get later on in the stage be all right when hopefully get to like 80k, which we did. I think it was like it was about 7 hours 51, I think it was, that I hit 80k, which I was very happy with. And then it was nice to just kind of walk and bring it in, get you ready, and bring it home. So
well, I think you've answered a question I was going to ask next about, did anything surprise you about your body during the challenge? I guess yours would be being able to still whack out those decent paces later on.
Yeah, it was that. It was that 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It really was, because obviously you got into bed and I must have been in there probably just over an hour, and I was feeling groggy anyway. So then to come out, wait another hour for Jake to finish, and then almost just run the whole 2 hours again. I was just and I didn't feel any sort of fatigue. Obviously set myself up. I got some sweets, got some gels, got my electrolytes, so I was all right. And I was almost saying to myself, like, I don't know how I'm actually like still going here. How am I still like running? So it's good. It's good to see, and I'm glad that's where I'm at. So it's nice.
And with yourself, Jake, obviously we would have learned a lot about ourselves as runners. I think in that 24 hours, was there anything that surprised you about your body during that?
Yeah, it still works. Yeah, no, I think I'm surprised enough because, like, the longest I've ever done any sort of physical activity is probably over. Well, I've done 2 hours, and that was, I don't know when it was. It was ages ago, and that, and I was in the trenches then. So doing an extra 6 on top of that, even like I'd say, like most of it was walking. I was just, it's surprising if you just put your mind to it, you could do anything, can't you? It's like what you said in the past. It's that mental battle, knowing that you could have stopped. And I think at one point I put it down to like 2, like the speed 2, and it was just, you going that slow where you might as well just stop. So you might as well and every time I tried to push myself to do a bit of a run, and that I just knew I wouldn't even be able to do longer than a minute and a minute and a half because I was in that much pain. But yeah, other than that, it's good. Just going back on the question before, there's 2 times where I was like, I might pack it in. When you pulled the plug, and when you decided you wanted to order food just as I was going on.
And that wasn't me. That was Ben.
Well, I said it like an hour before. Like, well, no, I think it was about an hour and a half before, and nothing was being said. So,
this happened a couple of songs because we were talking about breakfast for ages, and I'm on the treadmill. I'm so hungry, and Ben was just saying, "So, what we doing for breakfast?" You got people in the comments. What you guys thinking about breakfast? Breakfast. I was like, "Oh my god!" I could have ate a horse and went back to the jockey. I was absolutely starving, man. I was
that stage when I was eating. Ben was like, "Do you want any food? Do you want any food?" I was like, "No, wait." And then he must have just sat down. I was like, "You know what? I'll have the French fries." Ben got up and I was eating them and slowly trying to eat and dip. I was dropping them and he was just picking them up after me.
Well,
I was
do you know what?
I think so bad.
We have to give ourselves credit here because a couple of people laughed at the fact that we were doing a run, an endurance run, and we went for a Mackey's. But I actually think we were quite good. We went for the best option we could at Mackey's. It could have been easy, that how hungry we were all feeling. Could have been so easy to just be like, just get an absolute feast, burgers.
Well, you should have done. We should have just not ordered anything. Because then you'd have been in the same boat because mine was freezing cold.
Yeah.
You left your food as well.
Yeah. Only ate 2.5 chicken tenders.
I've been on it and I'm walking and I'm in like deep in the trenches. I've looked, Ben's in the chair like.
I was like, staring at him.
To just go away. Everyone's like, "Oh, how's your food? Is your food?" No, I'm like, I'm there, moaning not to swear, and I'm thinking I couldn't name everything under the sun there. But yeah, I'm glad we've done it, and I'm over the moon that I'm still freaking not in no bother.
Can I just say though, I am extremely proud of the both of you because it is like, as I said to you at the time, Mike, I said I've ran for 15 hours. Do you know what I mean? That, I don't know how this treadmill run mentally was more challenging than that at times. Like, so the fact that you two have never done that kind of amount of time before, I said to you, Mike, I said I'd rather be out in the hills in 30-degree heat than doing this. I don't know, it's such a mental thing, just staring at this screen, watching this time go down and down or up, whatever. And obviously it's such a mental challenge in comparison. And that's why I say the fact that you two have done it, hats off to you. I think you should both be extremely proud, and I know you are. But yeah. But would you say that, Mike? Because you were saying this, you said it was going to take me a couple of days to kind of realize what I've done and take it all in. Do you feel like you're at that point yet?
Yeah, I think so. I think yesterday was still a bit sort of blurry for me. I got into bed on Sunday at 7 o'clock, and I just remember waking up the next morning at, I think it was 4:30. So I got like a solid 9 hours, but obviously felt crap because I was full of cold. And Beck was saying to me, I said, "Oh, what time did you come up in the end?" And she says, "About 10. Says, "You were absolutely flat out." And I was like, I was so tired. Like that journey back in the car, we still had an hour and a half back to Lincoln. Stopped and got some food, had a Subway. I had a foot long, but I had to take breaks in between the sandwich.
You have to take 2 hour slots.
I was eating it and I was like, oh, my body is so hungry. But at the same time, I could very easily just chuck this up on the dashboard. Like,
what did you get?
My staple order from Greg's from Subway is tuna mayo.
Oof.
I just thought tuna mayo, you know, nothing too filling, tuna decent. Yeah, I just thought it was a solid option.
Did you get a drink? Push?
Yeah. Get a drink, yeah. Pull or push. I think I'll go cool, please, mate. He's like, what? Yeah, it's not my finest hour. But no, I think, like I say, yesterday I was sort of, even though I woke up and I'd had 9 hours, I was still sort of a bit groggy and feeling the way that I do. And it was sort of getting round to checking notifications properly and messaging a few people back and sort of letting it sink in. So today, I think I realised, you know, what I did. But there is always that bit inside me that can't help but draw to negatives and worry that, you know, people, because I told quite a few people I was doing it, and, you know, they'll ask about it, and the dreaded question that I'm dreading getting asked is, how much of it did you run? So to say I only ran for the first sort of 2 hours slot, they'd have been like, I worry that people are like, well, you know, anyone can sort of walk on a treadmill, but I'm not getting drawn into that. I'm thinking about things that might not happen, and it's just the way that my brain is wired up, and I hate it. But I am very proud of myself.
I think it's a bit unfair though, because I mean, in terms of the distance that you covered as well, I don't think that's correct. I feel like you both did. Well, you know, you definitely did more than that.
Me and Jake were talking about
80k. Yeah,
I think between us, I think we did about 40k each.
Yeah,
I reckon probably give or take a bit more, to be honest. But and you got to see Birmingham in its full glory.
Yeah, I am a connoisseur of that Bristol Road now. So if I ever go on to Mastermind, my specialist subject is going to be Holloway Circus roundabout at Bristol Road. But yeah, there was some tricky times. I mean, the question that I sort of just asked you guys about, did anything surprise you? I was obviously in so much pain, and like we were showering after every run. That probably didn't help, to be honest, but it was just a way to cool down. I regret not having a bit of a colder bath like you boys did. I think that would have helped massively. But I think the thing that surprised me was the end. Everyone was sort of pushing me to have a bit of a sprint, a bit of a run. I think, what did Gav call it? The Duffy Dash?
Duffy Dash. Yeah, we're using that from now on.
Yeah, we are stealing that, I'm afraid. And I managed to do it. And I was running. And I think I'd sort of, a lot of it was obviously mental. I think it was because I was in so much pain, like walking about the hotel room, I just automatically assumed, right, I'm not going to be able to run. So the fact that I was able to sort of bosh that out for like the last 45 seconds, I was quite surprised. You was like up to 10. I think I got to like 9.5. It was a bit stupid of me, to be honest, but I was running. And I thought, I actually feel all right here. And then it's like, well, if I'd have just tried and sort of pushed through the mental battles earlier on, maybe I would have done a bit more. But yeah, it was an experience. I think we'll talk a little bit now about sort of the funny and chaotic moments. I've got a few questions here, I think, which will be good for the listeners to sort of hear. We'll come to you first, Jake. What was the weirdest thing that happened during the 24 hours?
I'm on the spot there.
I think, like, apart from the different things that were being said whilst in the later, early hours in the morning, I remember I went in because you were on a treadmill and we heard nothing from you, Ben. Like you said, right, going for a shower. And I was like, right, okay. So I've gone in thinking he's in the shower. The shower's running and gone, Ben! And he's like, oh, and he was literally to my left.
Yeah, the amount of times I was like jumped by you two. I'm not even joking. I had Mike stand up. I'm on the treadmill, stands up and claps as loud as he can behind me. How I never fell off the treadmill, I'll never know.
Oh, when I
Remember
sneezed
Jake
as well.
sneeze?
Jake sneezed as
Oh,
on the
God.
treadmill.
We were on the 18th floor, and I think reception got a few phone calls from floor 1 asking if everything was all right in the hotel.
The other one was when I think it was when you were doing 4 till 6. Were you doing 4 till 6? Who was that? Was that you, Ben?
Me, yeah.
Ben, yeah.
It would have been Mike doing 6 till 8, and you slept. And I was like, it was getting close to. Was it my shift? It must have been because you was after me. So it's getting close to my shift, and I was like, I'm gonna have to get him up. So I've opened the door, and he's on the bed like that. And I was like, it's nearly my shift. He's like, okay. Because your eyes were just gone. You looked conked, and I was like, I'm thinking, I feel like he's just answered me and not even took in what I've said. So much everyone was just getting delirious because of lack of sleep. And then obviously Mike shouting about just quoting Cars 2. Screaming about pistachio ice cream.
Yeah, it got very silly. What about you, Ben?
It probably would be going back to what Jake was saying. I never in my life thought that I'd be stood at the end of a treadmill collecting chips flying off the end.
Like a pigeon.
Yeah, because he was treading on them as well. So I was just stood there. He was like, "Can you get that one, mate? Can you get that one? I'll get that one." I said, "Do you want it back?" He goes, "Nah." So yeah, I never thought I'd be stood there at 12:30 or whatever, collecting chips off a treadmill. So,
I think for me, it was probably trying to work all 3 or 4 TVs that were in the hotel. I think I spent more. I put more concentration into trying to work these TVs than I did into putting one foot in front of another as fast as I can. Yeah, it was so weird. Like, considering it was a proper suite and like the room was an absolute joke. I just really struggled with working them TVs. I don't know what the crack was. Who had the biggest meltdown?
We'll let you take this one first.
I didn't think I had a meltdown.
I feel like when everyone was having food, I was like, I felt proper bad, like in the sense, like I feel like I've been still. But then I think I was lingering with ordering for ages, so probably my own worst enemy. That.
Yeah.
You've got to have the worst meltdown from when Ben came in and woke you up, but that was my fault because I was based on the treadmill time.
Yeah, I didn't realise this had happened. So obviously, for those that remember it, Ben came in and woke me up because he was getting like donations, and he was like trying to whip up a few donations from people, and he was like, "Come on, what can I do?" and all this, but I think it transpired off the back of Jake getting his times mixed up. Obviously, I wouldn't have known this at the time. The only thing I remember is Ben coming in and waking me up, him having his laptop in his hand, and then pointing his bloody camera in my face. And I'm like, I'm trying to sleep here. So what happened there then?
So you had your alarm on for an hour and a half, right? And
correct.
Then, I think I was half an hour or something into my run. And I was like, he's got to be up in like 2 minutes. Like, what is he doing? Why is he still asleep? And obviously, bearing in mind, the half an hour's gone. They were like, Ben was like, what can I do? Any donations, I'll do it. And obviously, he's like, come on. And they were like, Dan was like, go jump on Duffy, 20 quid. He's like, final offer 40. I'm like, and then Alex got involved. And then Brad, I'm like, Ben, you've got to do it now. It's like 80 quid. I was like, Michael understand. It's 80 quid donations. He should understand. And then I was like, you got to go, Ben. And he's like, I was like, well, he's due to get up in 2 minutes anyway, so you might as well go do it. And then he's come out, he's like, you told me the wrong time. He's got an hour and a half and 40 minutes left on his
My timer had 45 minutes when I woke up. And oh my God, that an hour and a half would have sorted me out big time. But it was the fact that Ben was just sat on the bed with his laptop and everyone was watching. And he was like, your mum's donated 50 quid for this. And the way that he was saying it was as if My mum had donated 50 quid for him to come and wake me up. And he was like, are you not going to say thank you to these people that have done? And I was just in bed, and I was like, what? Like, just get out. And obviously, I couldn't then get back to sleep, so I had to get up. And
the anger that he come flying in, bowling into this room. I'm still on the treadmill, bent in the chair, and he's like, "Nah, man, you put me up. I had 40 minutes left of the time."
Yeah, he comes in with his Timu chasing the finish stop.
Oh God, yeah.
That thing needs to go in the bin. So,
oh, that
was it Jake? Did Jake you say he looks like he's wearing a bin bag?
Bin bag with the big button on the front of the logo.
Well, it was the early days of chasing the finish, and I thought, what can we do for merch? Yeah, that line will not be getting released. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Well, can I just say though, you have forgiven me though, haven't you, Mike?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Just in case people were worried.
I tell you what, I was worried about was obviously I was on the 12. Yeah, I was midnight till 2 a.m. And I thought that is when I need to get some sleep as well. And I was worried that Ben was going to
really arsey, weren't you? Don't do it again. I need sleep for the next shift. I need
exactly
for the next shift.
And to be fair to Ben, he was like, "No, look, I'm not gonna like. Don't worry." I don't know if anyone asked for it to happen again whilst I was asleep, but yeah, it didn't. So
it was funny. Stop laughing at me, man.
I'm just wondering. So, just to sort of round up on a few things, we've sort of gone from funny moments to sort of back to a bit serious and probably a bit deep. What would you say, Ben, we'll come to you first. I'm actually intrigued on this one with you because you are an endurance runner and you do prefer those longer runs. What did you learn about yourself from that run?
I think patience was a big one. Obviously,
is that because you with or
it kind of went out the window towards the end. I think I was telling Mike to shut up. But no patience. Yeah, just that strategic kind of mindset. As I say, like on that second run, stopping and walking for an hour. Whereas I think before I would have been very much like, nah, we got to run this, got to run. I thought, no, let's try and rein it in. Try and just be a bit more strategic and look after my body a lot more. As I say, like taking them ice baths helped. I was doing a couple of stretches before I went on, and when I come off, yeah, just general like looking after myself, making sure that I was hydrating and stuff that I really do neglect when I do these longer runs. Obviously, it was in the position where we was in the presidential suite, and it's and you are getting a few more hours rest and stuff like that, but still just trying to be sensible about it because I've come away now and I've got no aches or pain. So really, all in all, very happy with myself.
Good stuff. And Jake?
The fact that once a goal is set, so obviously no matter what happened, we would go in for 8 hours, is that once your mind's set and that is the target and the goal, that regardless of how you are feeling in your head or how you're feeling in your body, it was getting done regardless. I think even with my knee being as bad as it was, even if it was worse, I probably would have still done it regardless. I probably just wouldn't have said. Like, my feet were killing me and my legs were sore and whatnot, but you still push through, don't you? No matter how bad the pain was, I weren't going to let on how bad it was. Obviously, you could tell I was injured because people kept saying to me, you were trying to run and one leg just weren't running. So, but you just push through it, when there's a goal at hand. And when you're doing it for such a good cause, you take everything out of your body to get it done, don't you? So,
Absolutely. I think the thing with me, what I learned was that I can do it. I lose count the amount of times, and listeners probably get boring the amount of times to talk about this, but where I constantly question why I do this, if I can continue to do this. So I just need to take this experience now and implement it into my races, basically. We've got the Wolverhampton 10K on Sunday, the 29th. And there'll be times during that when I'm thinking, you know, I'm really struggling here, and can I do it? Do I want to do it? And I just have to sort of tap into, right, well, you can do it because you've just done 8 hours and you've been part of a 24-hour challenge. So, yes, a lot of it was walking, but you physically, you are getting over that line. Even if you have to walk, you are getting over that line. So it's about using it in a positive way. But I definitely learned that I can push through the mental barriers, because by no means am I sitting here saying that whole 8 hours was easy and I didn't want to quit and I thought it was a piece of cake and I'd do it all again because it was that easy. That is absolutely not the case. But the amount of times I think I've questioned my mentality and my mental strength and questioned whether I'm actually strong enough mentally sometimes to even be a runner, I think my answer is that 8 hour run. So I think that's probably what I've learned about myself. But I've just got a video actually. I took a video of the room just because obviously everyone only saw the view that we had. So I've got a video. I don't know if it's going to play. This is mad. Look at this. So we come in the front door here, little kitchen straight away. Video of the hotel room. Cookies, juice. There's a toilet. This is the room. That's a bedroom. And then,
yes, pal.
Following here, you've got a bath, a TV, walk-in shower, another little toilet. Then you've got like a little dressing room over here. Listen to this. Robes and all that. Drawers, safe. I took 2 videos. Jazz. And then, look at this view, by the way. Top floor, 18th floor. And then... mental. Absolutely mental. There we go.
Somehow breath walking around.
I don't realise how close I get to the camera sometimes. Quite a loud breather. So
yeah, Jake coming to me. I was having a nice bath, and I got Lingo on the TV, and I Jake in the bath. So that was a nice little 20 minutes.
Came in and I was just like, sound okay, just whatever.
I took another video, so I obviously wanted to take a video of the room just to sort of show everyone why we were perhaps so grateful, other than the fact that Radisson Blu put us up for free. The fact that they put us in one of those was out of this world, and we are forever eternally grateful to them. So I took another video, but halfway through it, there was a knock at the door, so I had to stop it. But this other video, basically, when I went into that walk-in wardrobe, I saw the robes for the first time, and I said, Ben will definitely be wearing one of those later. And lo and behold, he did. So I was like, there we go. But I had to delete that video in the end because I had to stop. Because I think actually that might be on the vlog footage, that because I took the camera and took a few videos, so that might be on there. But there'll be a part in it where I have been in hotels before, and I do understand that some of them come with showers and baths. But I sounded like it was the first time I'd ever seen a hotel room before. I was like, oh my God, this has got a bath and it's got a shower. And oh my God, there's a toilet as well. Like,
yeah, that's the reaction when someone came into the frigging live as well.
Well, yeah, you'll see all that. By the way, for those that I don't know if anyone has tried to go back on the video, I have, just to sort of watch it from a different perspective. We're not able to put the full 24 hours back out as a video because YouTube doesn't allow you. So what we've decided we're going to do is we're going to put a compilation video out. So the best bits, the funny bits, the serious bits, the sort of the sort of bits that mean the most as well. We're going to, well, I say we, Ben's going to put that together for us. Added in with a few vlog clips that I got as well. Sort of vlogged from a couple of days before and then on the morning, and completely forgot about it throughout the evening. Then picked it back up towards the end. So, yeah, that will be sort of out hopefully soon. Obviously, you'll be watching this on Thursday or listening on Thursday. But yeah, just before I hand over to Ben, because I know you've got a couple of things that you wanted to talk through, Ben. I've no idea what it was. I just saw a pair of trainers come up before we hit record, so I'm as intrigued as you. I just want to basically show where we're at in terms of the donations. So just because that charity run is now done, it doesn't mean that the donations have to stop. So ignore this bit here. I have had no end of people saying it said fundraising ended on 1st of March. No idea why it says that. Let's focus more on this bit here. £1,660 that we've raised. And look, the target was 1,250. I do want to just quickly say that that wasn't purely from us doing the treadmill run. We have had a few donations since, but yeah, basically you're still able to donate. We've had a few donations from a few different people. I think a few of the other lads that are playing for us now have sent this link out to their friends and family. But one thing I want to highlight as well, and I highlighted quite a bit during it, look at that. These are all the teams that are going to be playing in the charity tournament. So this don't go breaking my Cathcart. We're top for ages. Look, we're almost 300 quid clearer of them. So it'd be amazing to get over 2,000 in donations. And personally, I think it is possible. So yeah, I know we've finished it now, but you can still donate. And the actual event itself is on the 9th of May. So we'll be taking cameras along and hopefully getting a few vlogs of a few bits as well. But yeah, from the bottom of our hearts, we genuinely thank you so much. And I think me and Ben said this when we were sort of rounding off the stream. You almost feel bad just saying thank you because, like, you guys have put your hands in your pockets, and I think in the end it was 470 quid we raised. That's absolutely mental. Like, it's like beyond my wildest expectations. I'd have been happy with 200 quid raised. I think we needed about 200 to hit the target. So the fact that we were, you know, we hadn't even finished our first goes of the run and we'd hit the target. So, and there were people that donated more than once, whether it was on the night or whether they'd donated previously and then donated again. Huge thank you as well to Simon from Centurion Running Club. We knew that they were potentially planning on coming and sort of popping their heads in and saying hello and seeing how we were getting on. We didn't know how the hotel would receive that, but he had to nip off, unfortunately. But he popped his head in, and up come Jake with 4 cans of Stella and some sweets. By the way, those sweets ended up in my bag, and I've finished them all off now. So apologies, lads. And I've got 2 cans of Stella in the fridge. But yeah, massive thank you to Simon for that as well. Really do appreciate it. And a big thank you as well. I know I've messaged him today, but Dan Braddock from the YouTube channel Other Adventures Await Me, he donated yesterday. And bless him, he also said he was going to pop in, but other things came up. So yeah, big thanks, Dan. Really appreciate the support as always. But yeah, can't believe it's done. It's sort of come, gone, and yeah, it's nothing. Well, it's a memory now and something which we'll remember forever. I'm going to try and get us a nice medal for it as well. Perks of having a family business in the trophy industry. Just something to sort of physically show for it as well. So yeah, Ben, I'll hand over to you. What was it that you had lined up?
Just obviously, I haven't done a little news feature at all since, God, I can't even remember the last time I did it. But just a couple of things. I was strolling looking at some races yesterday, and I came across a couple. The first one, as I say, you've already seen it, Mike. It popped in. It was a few weeks ago now, but I'm pretty sure they are coming out next week or something like that. I can't remember. Basically, so these running trainers, I suppose, probably not the snazziest, but would you wear them, Mike? Would you wear them?
They're quite plain and simple. I think I'm about that life. They reminded me actually of Mizuno's. I don't know if you know that brand.
Okay. Would you buy a pair? They are $39. Yeah, $39.99. Would you buy a pair? That's good. For carbons. That's quite good.
That is good. You got to tell me the Audi middle aisle special.
Almost. They're Lidl.
Okay.
Middle aisle. So these are Lidl's new carbon racing shoes. So it caused a bit of a buzz recently. I know I've already seen a couple of reviews on them already. I don't know. I've seen a couple of reviews. I don't think they're very good, and I don't think they're going to be bargain of the century or anything like that. I just thought it was interesting that now supermarkets are getting involved and putting carbon racing shoes in.
Well, I tell you what, we shop at Lidl. I think I always get them mixed up with Aldi. Should I buy a pair and review them at a park run that we do together, and we'll do a video on it?
If you want to, Mike, because I tell you what, I'm pretty sure they'll go straight in the bin right after. But
content.
If you want to get a pair, Mike, that'd be yeah.
Leave it with me. I'll get a pair, providing they do my size. And the next time us three or us two or whatever do a park run together, I'll bring them and we'll get the camera out as always, and I'll review them.
Well, say if they haven't got your size, get either my size or Jake's size.
Yeah.
And, we'll work it out from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake, your first pair of carbons could be Lidl special. Okay, yeah. So the second one is, I don't know if you knew about this, Mike. I feel like it's something we may have missed. Or if you've said this, then I'm going to feel really bad. And just shows I don't listen to you. But new park run for Nottingham.
Yeah, I said this 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Before it was officially announced as well, by the way.
Okay, well, it's obviously now launched. Their first event attracted 564 finishers who took on the scenic Riverside route. So there we go. It's not too bad. It's not like we're announcing it. It has happened now. We will be seeing you making the trip, Mike. Do you think?
Yeah, I'll put in the group chat that it's one that I think all three of us could do, because even if we got the train, it's not a far walk at all from no, it's not that far of a walk from Nottingham train station.
No, it's not.
It's right next to the forest ground, and it's part of a route that we've already done, Ben, with the Nottingham Mow Run. It's flat, and here's the best bit: it's a V. There's not many of them kicking about, let me tell you.
So am I right thinking? So Nottingham's got two new ones now.
It's this one and the one at Home Pierpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what is that then? Do you know why they've just been given two?
I don't know. I got wind of this in a Facebook group. I mean, I can't remember the name off the top of my head now, but Cam told me about it. And it's basically a group where they announce new park runs, but because they have members in there, people obviously get winds that a new park run might be opening up. And then other people, without actually saying, yes, that's true, or yes, this is when, they sort of allude in the comments about, it could be happening this weekend. So when I saw this, someone said something along the lines of, I don't know for sure if the 14th of March is correct, but that's the murmurs and all this. And lo and behold, the 14th of March is when it launched.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely do this one. And it's one that we, as a free, could definitely do.
Because have you got a queue, Mike?
Yeah, I I've got a queue. I drove out to it. It's like 25 minutes from where I live now.
Right. Okay.
Well,
I
this
was
isn't
gonna
queue,
say
is it?
no, this is V, but I'm just thinking of these trickier ones that don't have that many. Because I was thinking closer to like me and Jake. What have we got queue wise? And it would be that Queenswood Country Park that opened. I think it was a few months ago actually.
Where's that?
That is Herefordshire.
Oh, okay.
So Leominster, I think it is.
Yeah.
Which isn't that far.
No, it's
for
not
us.
too bad of a jaunt out to Herefordshire. Well,
No.
my friend got married in Hereford.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to think, me and Jake, what we could do. But yeah, I'd definitely get a V sorted there for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was all really. I just thought I'd add a little bit something different at the end to switch up.
No, I appreciate it. I'm trying to work out if Jake's froze or not.
No, sorry, I was looking at other queues. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole.
No, you're okay, Jake. No problem at all. But yeah, no, well, hopefully we'll be sort of. I feel like these last few weeks, I know everything's been a bit up in the air. I've obviously started a new job and everything else and whatnot, and we've had this and we've got the Wolverhampton 10K. I feel like it's been ages since we've done a park run. I think Evesham was the last park run that we did. That was maybe actually only last weekend. Now I've said it.
Well, I can't think the last. What was the last one we did as a 3?
The last one we did as a 3. Blimey, now you're asking. Oh gosh, I don't know.
As a 3.
As a 3, the last part of it wasn't Oakland, surely.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
I think it was.
Blimey. Yeah, Oakland's.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's something we need to get in the diary soon. Quickly, actually, before we round off, obviously you were quite injured on Sunday morning, Ben, and you were saying how your ankle was playing up, and I think you said at one point it actually swelled up or started to swell up. You were perhaps thinking or rethinking about Wolverhampton 10K, and not that we want to sack off events because we don't often get to do events as a 3 together, and this is one that we've booked, and I've had it booked for a long time. I think you only booked it a few weeks ago, same as Jake. What's the latest feeling with yourself for Wolverhampton?
I think being off my foot for the last 2 days has been all right. It doesn't seem like it's took on anymore. I actually feel all right. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go, mate. I'm
how are you feeling about it, Jake?
Yeah, I'm sound. I'm in a good mindset about it all.
Love that.
As per.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully getting the same medal as everyone else this year. I'll get what you got last year, Ben. That's what I'll get. I know it.
Well, it weren't bad. You'll like that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Good.
Knowing my look, they'll have a brand spanking new design. So I'm just hoping that like Rob Edwards in there, right? And I say this because he's that type of guy. He's so cringe. He's got the best agent in the world, right? And he's like, oh my God, like, he has people eating out the palm of his hand. And he's the type of bloke that I'd rock up and would be like, oh, I just wanted to be about that community feel with Wolverhampton. And yeah, I'm like, mate, turn it in. If I see him, he'll be getting a piece of my mind, let me tell you.
Well, me and you were warming up next to the, what was it, the mayor? Was it the mayor?
Oh, yeah, that's right, wasn't it? Yeah, oh, God, that was so awkward.
He was
so, Jake, basically, I mean, you'll see this on Sunday, but you're in a car park outside the ground and you're warming up. And the mayor was like, obviously in his full get up, and he was doing the warm up in like a full suit. And it was like, you're not running though, so I don't really get why you're doing this. But yeah, do you know what though? It was a good event. It's different because you start and finish inside of a football stadium. And then they had those cameras which tracked you, which I thought was pretty cool. So you'll get a cool video a week or so after the event, just at you at different points. And I think it picks up your bib number or something, which is quite good. So you get one when you start the race. I think there's one like halfway round, then one near the end, and then one right outside the stadium as you sort of turn to go back in. So that's pretty good. But I'll be taking the camera, no doubt. Ben, you'll probably take the head camera, will you, and just record? Because
probably, yeah.
So we'll stitch the two together. We're not sure if any of the other lot are doing it. I know Tom Hodgson today said that it was one that he was thinking about booking on last minute. I can't remember. I think Ben Stevens is working, so I'm not sure whether we'll be joined by him. But for some reason, I just thought that quite a few of us were booked onto this. But no, we'll be there at the start line, Wolverhampton 10K on Sunday. I think I'm going to come down on the Saturday and stop over just so I'm not making a mad dash because it starts at 9. So
It's an early one last year, wasn't it?
A bit of an early start, and then after that, I don't have anything on till the 12th of April, which is the Lincoln 10K. I think that's the only thing I've got in April run-wise at the moment. So a bit quieter compared to last year, but I think we'll round it off there, chaps. Thank you very, very much for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know, obviously, we've talked about what you guys pretty much watched, so it might be a bit weird. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. It was a bit sort of up in the air. We didn't perhaps have as much planned as we wanted to. We'll get on it with announcing the winners of the giveaways as well. So, yeah, if you have entered, then, yeah, we'll get on it with announcing those. As we mentioned as well, season 1 of the Running Bingo was won by Amy Tremaine. So the hoodie will be going out at the end of this month. And then Pip Goodman as well came runner-up. So your mug will be on the way at the end of this month as well. And we'll probably, maybe sort of later in the week, I know you'll be hearing this on Thursday, but we might even, if we're in a position to, launch season 2, because it would be good to get that kicked off and underway. But if you've enjoyed this video, please do leave it a like. Please do hit subscribe as well. We got up to 135 subscribers. So 140 would be a nice little milestone next as well. But yeah, until then, keep on trucking and keep on chasing that finish. See you later, guys.